The Chicago White Sox followed up their 11-run, 17-hit performance with a one-run, seven-hit effort. White Sox lost to the Angels 4-1 Wednesday night. The Sox had numerous opportunities but could not get the job done. Jose Abreu reminded us all that he is still here, and since he is, he will go ahead and get his hits. Kopech was kept in maybe a bit too long, and Andrew Vaughn is nursing some sore legs for now.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The Sox have a much-needed off day here on Thursday before their series with San Fran. Maybe Michael Kopech should not have faced that last hitter. But first, there was a power outage on Wednesday night in Anaheim. State of the Sox. Our White Sox are 35-39. Sox lost to the Angels 4-1 Wednesday night. Sox went ahead and lost 2 of 3. In this series. They have an off day, then 3 with San Francisco before heading home for a very important series with the Twins. Some action, news and notes wise, before the game on Wednesday. Eloy Jimenez sighting. He hit his first home run during his rehab assignment on Wednesday. He has only been the DH in Charlotte. What are the Sox going to do with him whenever he's available to come back? The Sox have been using a variety of different guys in the DH spot and the outfield. Sox have a lot of first base DH guys. I don't know what they're going to do. There was no Andrew Vaughn in the lineup. Speaking of DH first base, maybe outfield guys. We'll talk more Vaughn later in this episode. There was no Jake Burger. TLR loves his matchups, loves his lefty-righty matchups. Ohtani, a righty on the mound. Burger not seeing a lot of playing time lately with Moncada coming back. And Harrison, making good on his playing time. And, of course, La Russa loves Lurie Garcia. Where does that leave Burger? And this is the thing that I was worried about a while ago. When you've got a talent like Burger and they think highly of him, he needs to get regular at-bats. And now he's just sitting on the bench. So we'll see what happens with him. Sheets continuing to play. He was in the DH spot on Wednesday. McGuire catching. You haven't heard too much about Grandal lately and what's going on with his injury. But have you really missed him? Honestly, I haven't really missed Grandal. What we're getting from Sebi and McGuire, it's nothing crazy, but hey, I am not really missing Yasmani Grandal right now. They've been more than serviceable, especially Sebi Zavala with his bat. Wanted to just revisit Johnny Cueto briefly here. What an outing he had the other day. Johnny Cueto was just fun to watch. And here was a comment that I believe it was Scott Merkin that put out. He tweeted this. Here was a Cueto talking to his offense the other day when he was pitching. Cueto on his comment to the offense, especially after the Velasquez homer. That was, of course, the first home run of 3 that he gave up in that third inning. Yes, I told them, hey, let's hit homers. Let's put the ball in the air. The ball is carrying today. I love that. I love that Johnny Cueto went back into the dugout and he said, hey, they're hitting them off me. We can hit them as well. Let's get back to work. Let's do it. Again, the fact that Cueto could have folded after giving up those 3 home runs, he dusted himself off, talked to his offense, and got back to work. Johnny Cueto is the first White Sox starter to win, despite allowing 3 home runs in an inning. Let's talk some White Sox offense Wednesday night. Coming into the game, of course, they're riding that 17 hits on Tuesday performance, which was second most this season. 11 runs in that Tuesday game, second most this season. They had a 5-run inning in the 5th and 7th on Tuesday night. Only 3 5-run innings the entire season entering Tuesday night. So what are they going to do as a follow-up, our White Sox? So they were talking in the pregame on NBC Sports Chicago that you got to get to Shohei Ohtani early. Based on all the numbers, hitters do the most damage during the first time through, and then Ohtani gets much stronger as the game goes on. So first inning, Anderson leads off the game with a single to right field. Moncada goes down swinging. Robert does the same. Ohtani had his splitter working, also had his fastball working, hitting 98 miles per hour. And then what an at-bat from Abreu. He battled Ohtani, takes a pitch that was outside the zone to right field. That kind of stuff will drive a pitcher crazy. Sheets struck out after Abreu. However, the Sox forced Ohtani to throw 25 pitches. Second and third inning, nothing really doing for our offense. Ohtani had 6 strikeouts after 3. Fourth inning, Robert with an infield single to lead things off. A great play by the Angels' third baseman. Could have easily been a double. Abreu follows up with a hit. That's a theme from Wednesday night. And we got the first 2 on and nobody out for Sheets. And he flies out to Trout. Pollock strikes out. Lurie Garcia is up. It was a nice at bat from Garcia, 9-pitch at bat. So he walks, bases loaded for Harrison, and a strikeout. It was the 8th for Ohtani. That was such a missed opportunity. The Sox with the bases loaded have just been awful this season. The numbers will show it. They are bottom of all of baseball. Again, Sox had opportunities, and that was definitely one in the 4th inning. 6th inning, Ohtani starts the inning with 91 pitches, got Robert for his 10th strikeout with a nasty breaking ball, one of the best ones of the night. Had a lot of bite on it. There was a bloop single from Abreu. It was his 3rd hit of the night. Sox only had 5 hits up until this point, and Abreu had 3 of them. Ohtani went well past 100 pitches as he battled against Sheets with 1 out. Gavin Sheets strikes out on a pitch high and outside. Ohtani gets pulled at this point. His final line, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, a walk, 11 strikeouts. He threw 108 pitches. I'm going to follow up a little bit more on that offense, that offensive line and where the Sox were at that point, because something kind of critical happened with Lurie Garcia up that not only Jason Benetti were talking about, but also kind of Steve Stone was left confused as well. We'll get to more of that. And of course, Michael Kopech's outing in just a minute. As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to hire in an interview faster and for free. Complete a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So it was in the sixth inning that Ohtani gets pulled, and Sox had something going a little bit. Quijada, which is a left-handed pitcher, comes into the game. Pollock is up, and there was some two-out offense here. Pollock with a base hit to right. Abreu moves to third, so you got runners in the corners, and Benetti is starting to talk about now. Well, do you maybe try to get Vaughn off the bench and hit for Garcia? Garcia was in the outfield on Wednesday. Obviously, that would make Vaughn a right fielder, left fielder, however they wanted to switch it. Nothing foreign to Andrew Vaughn. And Stone kind of, he was trying to engage Jason as well. And we as fans, I mean, I felt it too. It's like, use your bench. You got Berger there. Probably not the smartest choice in that spot, but Vaughn definitely with guys on the corner. Garcia, he hit instead, stayed in the game, and he grounded out to the pitcher to end the threat. Shortly after that moment, I saw a tweet from Scott Merkin, and maybe he tweeted this at a different time, but it was just, I felt like this was dropped right after this moment where possibly Andrew Vaughn could have pinch hit for Lurie Garcia. So Merkin tweeted that La Russa pregame on Vaughn said, "We had a meeting with the staff yesterday before the game and felt like 2 days to get his legs. He's dealing with, and this is not him on base and affecting some of his swings. We'll give him 2 days to refresh his legs. He'll be back Friday." So there you go. More kind of moments that Jason and Stone continued to needle at this happened throughout the game. Jason had a point of, hey, if we're in extras, 11th, 12th, 13th, and we've got no other options, are you going to use a pitcher to hit instead of Andrew Vaughn? And he had a point. If Andrew can at least take a swing, and then you've got Haseley that you can replace Vaughn with Haseley after Vaughn's at bat, so he's not in the outfield. Why not do that with runners on the corner? These injuries, these issues with leg soreness, and the timeline that they're setting, it is frustrating as a fan. That's for sure. I'm sure you feel it. Eighth inning, Luis Robert gets on by way of error. Then Abreu with his fourth hit of the night. You've got 2 on, a 1 out for Sheets. Fielder's choice, runners on the corner, wild pitch, and Robert scored the first run for the Sox. 4-1 Angels at this point. Too little, too late. Pollock pops out to end the threat. Nothing doing in the ninth for our Sox. Final line, 1 run, 7 hits, 0 extra base hits. White Sox struck out 15 times and had 2 walks. With runners in scoring position, and you felt this, you didn't even need to see the stat. Sox were 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The silver lining offensively is Abreu. Abreu was 4 for 4, and you got to read the James Fegan article in The Athletic. It dropped on Wednesday, all about Abreu and his approach. He's a guy that I was saying, speaking of leg soreness, how about this guy? Sit down a little bit. He's been wearing it, limping around third. Give him some time off. And here he goes 4 for 4. The guy doesn't take a day off except for when it's a scheduled off day. Awesome to see. Abreu's not going away. He's still here, and he reminded us of that with that offensive performance. So we'll talk a little Kopech here. It wasn't a bad outing for Michael Kopech, especially where he's come as a starter. It just, he had a bad inning and maybe went a bat or too long. First inning, Angels got their leadoff guy on, Mike Trout with a double. Kopech was laboring in the first. Ohtani walked. There was also an error before it was done. Angels were up 2-0 after the first. Kopech threw 27 pitches in that inning, but a nice second inning. 1-2-3 for Kopech. Only threw 10 pitches in the second. In the fourth, he had 54 pitches entering the inning. Gave up a double, but nothing else. Kopech had 4 strikeouts and a walk after the fourth. Kopech continued to battle in the fifth, had a runner on second, 2 outs, and was facing Mike Trout, which it could have went completely in a different direction. He was able to get Trout to fly out to left field. After giving up 2 hits in the first and it being 2-0 Angels quickly, Kopech only gave up 1 hit since then. The cameras caught Ethan Katz and Michael Kopech. I don't know if you saw this, if you were watching the game, if you were still up at this point. Caught Ethan Katz and Michael Kopech having kind of a heated, definitely animated conversation in the dugout. Lots of hand movements from Kopech. One can only wonder what they were discussing. I thought maybe it was Ethan Katz telling Michael Kopech, you know what, you're done. It was a great night. We're going to go to the bullpen now. Your pitch count's getting up there. But Michael Kopech came out for the sixth, and it was an outstanding strikeout by Ohtani to lead things off. Walsh then singled. Kopech was at 97 pitches here. So, even if he called 5 innings a day, he'd be somewhere around the high 80s. Maybe he'd have been at 90. But again, he went out for the sixth, got Ohtani, Walsh singled, and then Renifo crushed a middle fastball for a 2-run home run to dead center. This pitch by Kopech was just center cut. And it's 4-0 Angels. Kopech is pulled at that moment, and it just felt like maybe it was just one batter too much. Maybe Kopech should have been done after the fifth. But like I had said, after he gave up what he gave up in the first, he settled down. So again, not my decision to make, but of course, hindsight's 2020. Kopech's final line: 5 and a third of an inning. 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and that 1 big home run, that backbreaker really. But Sox offense didn't have anything going anyway. Kopech's ERA sits at 2.78. He threw 99 pitches. Lopez, Ruiz, and Graveman came on to clean things up, and they did a nice job. Ohtani was 0 for 3 in the game offensively with 2 strikeouts. Trout was held 1 for 4 with that RBI double in the first inning. Hey, it's a much needed off day to rest up several aching Sox players. We're going to talk more on that in a moment. Welcome to the world of sports cards reimagined. The Sports Card Investor app is the hobby's most powerful resource. Quickly check the value of your favorite cards, find great deals, and profit from the hobby you love. Available completely free in the Google Play and Apple App Stores, the Sports Card Investor app is a must-have for baseball fans. Easily browse over 630,000 cards from every sport, with hundreds more added each week. Check the latest values of your favorite cards with 7-day or 30-day charts. Find the best prices and buy directly through the app with our eBay deals feature. Plus, it's completely free. Whether you're a casual card collector or looking for exciting alternative investment opportunities, the free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. With the free Sports Card Investor app, you can pull out those old cards of your favorite childhood players and see how much they are worth today. Download the Sports Card Investor app today, available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores or go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked on. Hey, betonline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news. Of course, everything you need to know about Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And betonline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. So some silver linings, or maybe silver lining, depending on how you want to look at it. I mean, Kopech, you can go either way. I thought it was more than serviceable start, especially how he settled down after that first inning. You want to see him. I don't know. I'd like to have seen him get through that last inning of his. Minimal damage. That's where you want him. You don't want him to end on giving up that home run. That's a sour taste that he's got to sit with now. Not the way he wanted to end his night. But I thought there were a lot of positives that he can take away from that outing. And still, I think it's a step in the right direction in this first full season of him as a starting pitcher in our rotation, of course. Abreu is the talk from the Wednesday night's game. Just when you want to count him out, perhaps, he's come alive lately. This has been a great month for him. 4 for 4 Wednesday night. And a guy that, has been battling some stuff, but he continues to go out there. And I'm wondering if it's him just, speak softly, carry a big stick, kind of showing others, hey, this is how you do it. Don't ask for days off. And if they're trying to give you a day off, force your way back into the lineup, kind of grind through it. Anyway, it's an off day on Thursday for the Sox. And guys like Pollock, Vaughn, Robert, TA, we've all heard recently that they're nursing some sort of leg issue. Obviously, with Vaughn, kept him on the bench. We probably could have used his bat in a couple situations, but Tony La Russa spoke, and Scott Merkin tweeted that there is a plan, and it was to rest Vaughn for 2 days. We'll see what happens in San Francisco. Sox are 6 now back in the AL Central. Again, a big week coming up next week, and the Sox return against the Twins. Thanks for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcasts. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On MLB Prospects. Host Lindsey Crosby is a prospect encyclopedia, and he's going deep on the MLB stars of tomorrow. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up on the next episode, speaking of prospects and the upcoming MLB draft, the plan is to be joined by James Fox, a contributor for Future Sox and Sox Machine. Can't wait to talk to him about not only the state of our White Sox, but what's happening in the farm system. You're not going to want to miss that episode. Really appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski. And until next time, go Sox.